My ex was insanely possessive. He'd lose it if any guy even glanced at me, until I started seeing a 6 feet 5 inches MMA fighter. I'm Madison, 27 now. 3 years back, I finally broke up with Derek after 4 miserable years, but walking away didn't mean freedom. The threat started literally the next day. I was at Target grabbing stuff for my new place, when a guy about my age smiled at me in the cleaning aisle. Just a normal friendly smile. I smiled back. That's it. 2 hours later, Derek showed up at my apartment. I still don't know how he got my address. He pounded on my door like he was gonna break it. I saw you at Target, he yelled. I saw that guy looking at you. You think you can just move on? You think I'll let some random dude try anything with you? I called the cops. They showed up, talked to him, and by then he was all calm. Fake smiles, fake apologies. Said it was just a misunderstanding, that we'd just broken up, emotions running high. The officers basically told us to move on. That was just the start. The next time was at a coffee shop. The barista made small talk while making my latte. Derek was there, sitting in the corner. I hadn't even noticed him. When the barista's shift ended, he found all 4 of his tires slashed outside. I knew it was Derek. The barista didn't, but I did. Then it happened at the gym. A guy asked if I was done with the machine, just asked. Derek followed him to his car, got in his face, told him to stay away from me, or he'd regret it. The guy went back inside, told his staff, and they checked the cameras. Derek got banned, but that didn't stop him. For 2 years, this was my life. I couldn't talk to men, couldn't even smile at anyone. I couldn't step outside without wondering if Derek was watching. I tried getting a restraining order, but he was clever. Never touched me, just messed with anyone near me. Always with some excuse or alibi, so nothing stuck. Friends told me to move cities. My mom begged me to come back to Ohio, but I built something in Austin. A steady job as a graphic designer. My own apartment. My own rhythm. Why should I be the one to run? So I stayed, and I disappeared. I stopped going out, stopped dating, only left home for work. 25 years old, living like a ghost. It was a Wednesday afternoon when I met Cameron. My laptop crashed right in the middle of a deadline, completely died. Freaking out, I rushed to this little electronics repair shop a couple blocks from work, practically about to cry. Cameron was at the counter. The guy was huge. I'm 5 feet 4 inches, and I had to tilt my head back just to see his face. He had to be at least 6 feet 5 inches, broad shoulders, hands like dinner plates. His nose looked like it had been broken before, and a scar ran through his left eyebrow. He looked intimidating, but his voice was calm when he spoke. Hey, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Let me take a look. I blurted out everything. The deadline, the stress, the panic. He listened quietly and smiled. I can have this fixed in an hour. There's a cafe next door. Go grab a coffee, relax, and come back. I've got you. I wanted to tell him not to be kind to me, that it could get him hurt, but the deadline was close, and I was desperate, so I just said thank you. An hour later, my laptop was good as new. Cameron didn't even charge me for labor. First-time customer discount, he said with a grin. Just pay for the part. I should have just taken the laptop and never gone back. But something about him felt safe. Maybe because he was huge and I couldn't picture Derek ever scaring him. Maybe I was just tired of being afraid. Thank you, I said. Really? You saved my life today. Anytime. He handed me his business card. We're here 6 days a week. Anything tech-related breaks, you know where to find me. I left the shop and barely got half a block before I saw Derek across the street, leaning on a building watching. Our eyes met. He smiled, not friendly. A warning. My stomach sank. I walked faster, went back to work, and felt sick all day. That night, driving home, I passed the repair shop. The lights were still on. Cameron was inside, working on something. I parked across the street and watched, waiting for Derek to appear, to do something awful. But nothing happened. Cameron locked up at 7, got into a big pickup and drove off. I went home and couldn't sleep. The next morning I couldn't focus. I kept checking the shop's Facebook page, expecting bad news. Nothing. During lunch I walked by. Cameron was there, alive, helping a customer. He spotted me, waved. I waved back, and kept walking, my heart pounding. 3 days went by. Nothing happened. Derek never showed at my place. Cameron's shop stayed fine. No smashed windows, no cut tires, no creepy run-ins. It didn't make sense. On Saturday, I hit the downtown farmer's market. I used to go all the time before Derek, but stopped once he started showing up there. This was my first time back in over a year. I was checking out tomatoes when I heard a familiar voice. Madison. I turned around. Cameron was there, rocking gym shorts and a tank, carrying a reusable bag. His arms were massive, not bodybuilder big, more like fighter strong. All solid muscle and a few scars. Hey, I said, pretending to be chill. Didn't know you came here. Every Saturday, he grinned. The vendor over there makes insane breakfast burritos. Tried them? I shook my head. Come on, my treat. Call it payback for overcharging you on that laptop part. You didn't overcharge me. I know, but you're getting a burrito anyway. The way he said it left no room to argue. We walked over together. and he ordered 2 burritos and lemonades. We found a shady spot under a tree and started talking. Like really talking. He told me about growing up in Minnesota, moving to Austin 5 years ago, always being into tech but needing a physical outlet. So he trained. Trained what? I asked. MMA. Mixed martial arts. I fight professionally. Well, semi-pro. I've had 12 fights. Won 9. My stomach tightened. You're a fighter. Yeah. He bit into his burrito. I know people hear that and think I'm some hothead, but it's the opposite. Fighting teaches control, discipline. Once you know how to really hurt someone, you get careful about never doing it. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to leave. Part of me wanted to spill everything about Derek. And part of me just wanted to sit there, finally having a normal conversation. We talked for 2 hours. He was funny, smart, and weirdly gentle for someone who fights for a living. When we said goodbye, he asked for my number. I paused. Every instinct screamed danger, but I was so done with being scared. I gave him my number, and later that night he texted me, "Thanks for the farmer's market. That was nice. Wanna grab dinner sometime?" I stared at my screen for 10 minutes before typing back. "I need to tell you something first." Okay. So I told him everything. About Derek, the threats, the pattern of men in my life getting scared off or hurt, how I hadn't dated in 2 years because I didn't want anyone else dragged into it. I expected him to ghost me, to say something polite and vanish like anyone sane would. Instead, he replied, "But here's the thing, Madison. I'm not afraid of your ex, and I'd really like to take you to dinner." We went out that Tuesday to a cozy Italian spot downtown. I was tense the whole time, scanning every face, half expecting Derek to show up, but he didn't. Cameron talked about his upcoming fight in 3 weeks here in Austin. He seemed pumped but anxious. My opponent's a strong wrestler, and that's always been my weak spot. "What's your strength?" I asked. "Striking. I'm a boxer first. But in MMA, you can't just be one thing. You have to be balanced." After dinner, he walked me to my car. "I had a great time," he said. "Can we do this again?" Yes, I said and meant it. We kept seeing each other. 2 dates a week turned into 3, then 4. He never rushed anything physical, just held my hand or kissed me goodnight. He was patient, gentle, and made me feel safe for the first time in forever. And Derek never appeared. Not once. It felt strange, almost too calm. I kept waiting for the chaos, but it never came. 3 weeks in, I went to Cameron's fight. He'd given me 2 tickets, so I brought my best friend Jessica. She'd seen Derek ruin my life firsthand. "I can't believe you're dating again," Jessica said, as we found our seats. "And I really can't believe you're dating a cage fighter." "He's not what you'd think," I said. "Clearly. Look at you. You're smiling. You're out. You're alive again." The fight was wild. I'd never seen MMA before, and the raw intensity of it stunned me. Cameron was unbelievable, fast and exact. He knocked his opponent out in the 2nd round. After the fight, we went backstage to congratulate him. His face was bruised and his knuckles were taped, but he was grinning. "You came?" he said when he saw me. Of course I came. He kissed me right there in front of everyone. It was the first time he'd really kissed me, and it felt like everything snapped into place. We went out to celebrate with his team and a few friends. At the bar, Cameron introduced me to everyone. "This is Madison, my girlfriend." Girlfriend. The word made my heart race. I hadn't been anyone's girlfriend since Derek. That night, after everyone else left, Cameron and I sat in his truck in the parking lot. "I need to tell you something," he said. My chest tightened. Here it comes, I thought. This is where he tells me it's too much. That Derek is too much. But instead, he said your ex came to see me. About 2 weeks ago, everything stopped. What? He showed up at the shop. Waited until I was alone and came in. Started making threats. Told me to stay away from you. Said he'd make my life hell if I didn't. I felt like I couldn't breathe. "Cameron, I'm so sorry. I should have warned you better. I should have." "Madison," he took my hand. "Let me finish. So your ex is standing there trying to intimidate me, telling me all the things he's done to other guys who talk to you. And I just listened. Let him say his piece. Then you know what I did." I shook my head. I told him I fight for a living, that I've trained for 12 years, that I've been hit by some of the best strikers in Texas and taken down by top wrestlers, and that if he ever came near you again, if he even texted you or drove past your apartment, I would find him. And it wouldn't be a threat. It would be a promise. My hands were shaking. What did he do? He tried to act tough for about 10 more seconds. Then he realized I wasn't backing down, and he left. Haven't heard from him since. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "You threatened him." I didn't threaten him. I made him understand consequences. There's a difference. Cameron looked at me seriously. "Madison, I know what you've been through. And I know you've probably been protecting everyone around you for years. But you don't have to protect me. I can take care of myself. And more importantly, I want to take care of you." That was 4 months ago. Derek hasn't contacted me since. Hasn't shown up anywhere. Hasn't hurt anyone near me. For the first time in more than 2 years, I feel free. Cameron and I are still together. I go to all his matches now. He's won his last 3. We just moved into a small house with a yard last month. The place was Cameron's idea. He'd been living in a tiny apartment above the auto shop, and I was stuck in my one bedroom filled with bad memories. We wanted to start over together. Looking for a house turned into an adventure. Every place we toured, I kept thinking about safety. Strong locks, bright streets, easy ways out. Cameron noticed. We'll find somewhere you feel safe, he said. No rush. 3 weeks later, we did. A small 2-bedroom in a quiet area. The landlord, Patricia, was this kind older lady who lived 2 doors down. She saw Cameron and said, "Oh good, you're a big one. We need more good men on this street." Cameron laughed. "I'll do my best, ma'am." We moved in on a Saturday. Jessica came to help, along with Cameron's training partners, Marcus and David. Both were fighters too, just not as tall as Cameron. They treated me like family. "Cameron never stops talking about you," Marcus said while hauling boxes. "It's honestly annoying. Madison this, Madison that. We get it, man. You're in love." Cameron tossed a roll of tape at him. That first night, we ordered pizza and ate on the floor since we had no furniture yet. Cameron wrapped his arm around me and said, "This is ours. Our home. Our life. Nobody else gets to touch it." I believed him. The next few months were the happiest I'd ever been. I was learning what being in a normal relationship felt like. About 3 months in, we had our first real argument. It was dumb. He forgot to tell me he'd be late from the gym. I got nervous when he didn't answer his phone, and when he came home, I snapped. He didn't yell. He just said, "You're right. I should have called. I'm sorry." That was it. No shouting. No games. No days of silence. Just an apology and a promise to do better. I cried right there in the kitchen because I'd forgotten fights could be that easy. Cameron held me while I told him how Derek used to twist every small thing into a battle. How he'd ignore me for days. Refuse to tell me what I'd done wrong. Cameron once told me, "Make me beg for forgiveness for things I didn't even understand. I'm never going to do that to you," he said. "We're going to fight sometimes. That's normal. But we're going to fight fair. And we're always going to come back to each other. Always." I've been learning how to live again. To go out without feeling scared. To smile at people I don't know. To just exist in the world like everyone else. But it wasn't easy. About 5 months into our relationship, I had a panic attack at a restaurant. We were having dinner with some of Cameron's gym buddies, and one of them brought his new girlfriend. Her name was Emily. She seemed nice, but she was my age, with long dark hair like mine. When she started talking about her ex, something about the way she described him made my chest tighten. The place was crowded and loud. Too many people, too many men, and suddenly I couldn't breathe. I went to the bathroom and locked myself in a stall, trying to remember the breathing techniques my old therapist taught me. But nothing worked. My heart was racing, my hands trembling, and I was sure Derek was out there, watching, waiting. 10 minutes later, Jessica found me. She'd noticed I was gone and came looking. She sat on the floor with me, while I completely broke down, whispering, "It's okay. You're safe. Derek isn't here. Cameron is right outside. You're safe." Then Cameron showed up, took one look at me, and instantly knew. He didn't ask a single question, just helped me stand, told his friends we had to go, and drove me home. Later in bed, I whispered, "I ruined dinner." He said, "You didn't ruin anything. You had a panic attack. That's not your fault." I told him I thought I was getting better. He said, "You're getting better, but healing isn't linear. Some days are going to be hard. That's okay." He convinced me to see a therapist again, Dr. Lisa Chun. Yeah, I noticed she had the same last name as Cameron. She specialized in trauma and recovery, and she was amazing. She didn't make me relive it all, but helped me process it. Helped me finally understand that what Derek did was never my fault. My therapist told me I didn't deserve it, that none of it was my fault. "You can't control other people's actions," she said once. "You can only control your response, and you responded by surviving." That took strength. Therapy slowly helped me find pieces of myself again. The version of me that existed before Derek, the girl who could laugh easily, trust others, and not freeze when someone raised their voice. Last week, I was grocery shopping alone when I saw Derek in the frozen aisle. My body locked up. He noticed me too. For a second, we just stared. Then he grabbed his cart and turned away, without a word. I stood there, taking it in, and then suddenly laughed. Actually laughed out loud in the middle of the store. Because Derek was scared. Not of me, but of the person standing beside me now. That night, I told Cameron what happened. "He ran away from you," Cameron said, grinning. "Good." I told him I felt like I should feel bad. Like maybe scaring Derek off was the same kind of control. Cameron thought for a moment. "The difference is, I'm not controlling you. I'm not telling you who to talk to or where to go. I'm not making your life smaller. I just made sure he couldn't anymore." He was right. A few days later, something unexpected happened. I got a Facebook message from a woman named Amber. I didn't know her, but her profile said she lived in Austin. The message read, "I hope this isn't weird, but I heard from a mutual friend that you used to date Derek Morrison. I'm reaching out because I just started dating him, and some things are starting to feel off. I was wondering if we could talk. My stomach dropped. Derek had moved on, and he was already repeating the same pattern. I called Cameron right away and read in the message. What do I do? I asked. You meet her, he said instantly. Tell her everything. Give her the chance you never had. So I did. Amber and I met at a coffee shop the next day. She was 23, beautiful, and visibly anxious. I didn't hold back. I told her about the 4 years of control and manipulation, how Derek cut me off from friends, tracked my location, read my messages, and sent threats after I left. For nearly 2 years, I lived in constant hell, unable to talk to any guy without Derek, making their lives miserable. Amber's face turned pale as I spoke. He told me you were crazy, she whispered, that you made up lies about him, that you cheated and then tried to ruin his life when he dumped you. That's his pattern, I said. He twists the story, plays the victim. Amber looked down. He's already started going through my phone, she murmured. He says it's because his last relationship, yours, left him with trust issues. I thought I was helping him heal. You're not helping him, I said. You're enabling him, and it's only going to get worse. Amber walked out of the cafe, crying. I didn't know if she'd listen, but some people only learn the hard way. 2 days later, she texted me. I broke up with him. He lost it. Started yelling and hitting walls. But I'm safe. Thank you. I showed Cameron the message. You saved her, he said. You broke the cycle. We broke the cycle. I told him, but it didn't end there. 3 days later, Amber called in panic. He's outside my apartment, she said, trembling. He's been there for an hour, sitting in his car, staring at my window. I called the cops, but they said unless he does something, they can't help. Where are you? I asked. She gave me her address. It was 15 minutes away. I didn't even think. I grabbed my keys. Cameron stopped me. Where are you going? Amber's place. Derek's there. She's terrified. Then I'm coming too. We drove together. Sure enough, Derek's car sat across the street. I could see him behind the wheel, eyes locked on her window. Cameron parked right behind him, stepped out, and knocked on his window. I watched from our truck as Derek rolled it down. I couldn't hear the words, but I saw his face. First furious, then afraid. He started the car and sped off. Cameron climbed back in. He's gone. What did you say to him? I reminded him of our last talk and told him that if he ever messed with you, me, or anyone close to you again, I'd make sure everyone in Austin knew exactly who he was, including his boss. His boss. I did some digging after he showed up at the shop. Derek works for a finance company downtown. They've got a strict code of conduct. I doubt they'd love hearing one of their guys has been creeping on multiple women. I looked at him in disbelief. You looked him up? Of course I did. Know your enemy. Basic fight rule. We headed up to Amber's place. She was still trembling but super thankful. We hung out for about an hour to make sure Derek didn't return. Before we left, I gave her Dr. Chen's number. Therapy helps, I told her. Trust me. That weekend, we were back at the farmer's market. Same spot where we'd first really talked. We were eating burritos under that same tree when Cameron said, I'm fighting for the regional championship next month. Biggest fight of my career. I'll be there, I said right away. I know you will. He took my hand. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. Madison, before I met you, fighting was my whole world. It defined me. It was everything. But now it's still important. It's just not everything anymore. You are. My heart was racing. Cameron, I'm not proposing, he said quickly, laughing. Not yet anyway. I just wanted you to know meeting you changed my life. You reminded me there's more to life than fighting. Being strong isn't about how hard you hit. It's about who you protect, who you stand up for, who you choose. I kissed him right there, under that tree, in the middle of the market. People probably stared, didn't care. The championship was 3 weeks later. Cameron's opponent was a Houston guy with a scary record, 18 wins, 2 losses. Both his coaches were nervous. Cameron wasn't. I'm ready, he told me the night before. I've trained harder for this than anything, but even if I lose, I've already won, because I have you. The fight was brutal. 5 rounds. Cameron took some nasty hits. His face was bloodied by round 3, but he never stopped. He kept pushing, kept swinging, kept going. I could barely look half the time. Jessica was next to me, gripping my hand. Every time Cameron took a hit, I winced. But whenever he got back up, I screamed louder. In the 5th round, with less than a minute left, Cameron threw the perfect combo. His opponent dropped. The ref called it. Cameron had won. The place went wild. I yelled until my voice cracked. Jessica was bouncing beside me. When they announced Cameron as the new regional champ, I cried. Real tears. Happy ones, for the first time in years. Afterward, in the locker room, Cameron's face was swollen and bruised, one eye barely open. But he was grinning. We did it, he said. You did it, I told him. No, we. You think I could have trained right if I was worrying about some psycho stalking you? You freed me as much as I freed you. He was right. We saved each other. A few weeks later, Cameron got offered a deal with a bigger league. More money, more spotlight, tougher fights. It meant more travel, more risk, more distance. What do you think? He asked. Should I take it? Definitely, I said without even thinking. This is your dream. I won't hold you back. You could never hold me back. He pulled me in. Come with me. To the fights. The camps. Everything. I don't want to do this without you. So we did it. I switched my design job to remote and hit the road with him. I watched him fight in Dallas, San Antonio, Vegas. Some wins, some losses. But he was happy. We were happy. His first loss was rough. It happened in Vegas, against a guy with 15 years of experience. Cameron fought great. But the other dude was just better that night. When the judges read the scorecards, I saw the disappointment on his face. Back at the hotel, he sat quietly on the edge of the bed, staring blankly. You fought great, I said. Not great enough. You can't win them all. That's how it goes. I know. It just sucks. I wanted to win that one for you. I sat beside him. Cameron, I don't need you to win for me. I just need you safe. Healthy. Coming home to me. That's all that matters. He looked up at me then. Really looked. How did I get so lucky? We both did. 6 months into his new deal, we were holed up in a Phoenix hotel the night before his match. Cameron was supposed to be resting, saving energy, but instead he sat at the edge of the bed, looking uneasy. What's wrong? I asked. Nothing's wrong. He stood and pulled something out of his gym bag, a little box. My chest tightened. Madison, I know I said I wouldn't propose at the farmer's market, but that was months ago. I've been carrying this around to every fight, waiting for the right time. Then I realized there's no perfect time. Just us. And I don't want to wait anymore. He opened the box. Inside was a simple ring. Stunning and just right. Will you marry me? I couldn't even speak. I just nodded and held out my hand. He slid the ring on my finger, and we both started crying. Big, messy, happy tears. The next night, he won. Dedicated the win to his fiancée. That was 2 months back. Now we're planning the wedding. Something low-key. Just close friends and family. Jessica's my maid of honor. Cameron's brothers are flying in from Minnesota. Wedding planning's been an experience. Cameron wants to be part of every detail, which is adorable but also kind of ridiculous. This huge fighter sitting beside me at a bakery, trying cake samples, arguing over buttercream versus fondant like it's a title match. I want lemon, he said during our tasting, but with the raspberry filling? That's what I wanted too, I said, surprised. The baker smiled. You two are meant for each other. We picked an outdoor wedding, cozy and simple, just 40 guests. Cameron's gym is letting us use their outdoor training space. Sounds weird, but it's gorgeous. String lights and a view of the hills. It's where we found ourselves, Cameron said. Makes sense. Last week, I got another Facebook message. This time from a guy named Tyler. I heard you know Derek Morrison, the message said. I'm a private investigator. His current girlfriend hired me to look into some threatening behavior. Would you give a statement? Turns out, Derek had moved on to someone new. A woman named Rachel. And Rachel wasn't like the rest of us. She got smart early. Hired a PI before things went too far. He was building a case for a restraining order that might actually hold. I gave my statement, and so did Amber. Then the PI reached out again. We found 5 more women, he said, all with the same kind of story. We're building a behavior pattern case. Would you testify if it goes to court? I looked over at Cameron, cooking dinner like he'd always belonged there. Our kitchen, our home, our life. Yes, I told the PI. I'll testify. 3 weeks later, he called again. Derek's been served a restraining order. The DA's looking at stalking and harassment charges. It's looking good. I called Amber right away to tell her. She started crying. It's really over? It's really over. That night, Cameron and I celebrated. No champagne. No fancy restaurant. Just the couch, a movie, and peace. You did it, Cameron said during commercial. You stopped him. We did, I said. All of us. Every woman who spoke up. You know the best part? Cameron asked. Derek has to live knowing he lost. Not to me. Not to another man, but to all of you. You took your power back. He was right. The hearing was set for 2 months later. Right after our wedding, the prosecutor called to prep me. Her name was Victoria, mid-40s, with 15 years of experience in domestic violence cases. I've seen a lot like this, she said, but rarely so many women brave enough to come forward. You should be proud. I'm just tired of being scared, I told her. You won't have to be. Not after this. The wedding planning rolled on. Cameron's mom flew in early to help. Just as I imagined. Warm, funny, totally in love with her son. She hugged me the moment we met. Thank you for loving my boy, she said. He's been through a lot. Lost his dad at 17. Fighting helped him deal with it. But you made him happy. Really happy. I hadn't known about his dad. He talked about family, but not that. That night I asked. Car accident, Cameron said softly. Drunk driver. My dad was coming home from work. Gone in a second. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I don't talk about it much, he said, but it's part of why I fight. My dad always said to stand up for people who couldn't do it themselves, to use my strength for something good. Fighting lets me do that. And so do you. Me? Yeah. Standing up to Derek for you felt like I was honoring him, like I was finally big enough, strong enough, to protect someone the way I couldn't protect him. We both cried that night, two broken souls who somehow made each other whole. Yesterday, I went to Target, the same one where everything began 3 years ago. I was in the cleaning aisle when a guy about my age smiled at me. I smiled back. Nothing bad happened. No threats. No fear. No Derek. Just a simple moment, a smile between strangers, the kind of thing normal people experience every day. I bought my stuff and left. Sitting in the car, I took a deep breath. Real air. Free air. Safe air. Then I drove home. To the place I share with Cameron. The place where I'm allowed to exist without fear. Where I can be me. Smile at strangers. Have male friends. Live my life without looking over my shoulder. Tonight Cameron's got a fight. Nothing major, just a local event. But I'll be there, front row, wearing his shirt and cheering like crazy. Because that's what love means. You show up. You stand by them. And if anyone ever tries to threaten me again, tries to make me small, tries to make me scared, they'll have to go through Cameron first. Not because I need him to protect me, but because he chooses to stand beside me. Because we choose each other every single day. The wedding's next week. We picked a Saturday evening, right at sunset. Jessica's been helping with everything. She found my dress, a simple white gown that makes me feel effortlessly beautiful. You're glowing, she said when I tried it on. I've never seen you this happy. She's right. I am. Really happy. Cameron hasn't seen the dress yet. He's being old school about it, which made me laugh. You literally get punched in the face for a living. But you're superstitious about seeing my dress? Some things you don't mess with, he said seriously. His brothers came yesterday, Jake and Ryan, both younger but still built like walls. They already treat me like family, teasing Cameron nonstop about going soft. He cried during a commercial yesterday. Jake told me. A commercial? For insurance? It was about a dad teaching his daughter to ride a bike. Cameron said. Defensive. It was emotional. I love seeing this side of him. The soft side. He only shows when he's around people he truly trusts. My mom flew in from Ohio too. She and Cameron's mom instantly clicked, chatting like lifelong friends. Yesterday morning, Mom pulled me aside. He's good for you, she said. I can see it. You're you again. My Madison. The girl who laughed at everything and believed the best in everyone. I'm better than I was. I told her. Still working on it. We all are. That's life. The rehearsal dinner's tomorrow. Just close family and the wedding crew. Cameron wanted it at the farmer's market. At the burrito stand where we first really talked. The vendor was overjoyed. I remember you too, she said when we told her. Young love. The best kind. Tonight, though, is Cameron's fight. His last one before the wedding. He wanted it done so he could focus on the big day, without training stress. I'm getting ready now. Slipping on his team shirt and my lucky jeans. Jessica's picking me up in 20. Marcus and David will be there too, plus a bunch from the gym. Cameron left hours ago to warm up, but he texted before heading into the locker room. See you soon. I love you. And after this, it's just us and forever. Just us and forever. I like how that sounds. Derek took 4 years from me. My confidence, my freedom, my peace in public. But he doesn't get anything else. He doesn't get my future, my joy, my Cameron. I reclaimed all that. We did. And I'll never let it go again. The hearing's set for 2 weeks after the wedding. All 5 of us are testifying, me, Amber, Rachel, and 2 other women I haven't met. Victoria says the case is strong. That Derek will probably take a plea. He's done. She told me yesterday. Men like him only have power when their victims are alone and scared. When you all stand together, he's nothing. I believe her. Sometimes I think about what if my laptop hadn't crashed that day? If I'd never gone into that repair shop? If I hadn't met Cameron, I'd probably still be hiding. Still letting Derek run my life from afar. But I did meet Cameron, and he showed me not all strong men use power to control. Some use it to protect, to make room for others to breathe. That's the difference between Derek and Cameron. Derek made my world smaller. Cameron made it bigger. Derek used to make me terrified of my own shadow. Cameron showed me how to step back into the light. Derek punished anyone who even glanced my way. Cameron made sure I could look anyone in the eye. Next week, I'm marrying the man I love. I'm taking his last name. Chun, Madison Chun. It sounds right. Feels like a clean slate. A new beginning. Jessica keeps teasing that I should hire Cameron to stand guard at the wedding and glare at Derek if he tries to crash it. But I doubt that'll happen. Derek's too busy dealing with his own mess. Legal stuff. The kind you can't fight your way out of. And me? I'm just living my life. Working. Planning the wedding. Cheering for my fighter fiancé. Smiling at strangers in Target. Doing all the little normal things that once felt impossible. But there's something else I haven't said. Something that happened last week that changed everything. I was at Dr. Chen's office for my usual session. We were talking about the wedding, about how excited I was. Then she asked me something that caught me completely off guard. What are you most afraid of? I thought about it. Really thought about it. I'm afraid I'll wake up one day and realize it's all too good to be true. That Cameron will change. That I'll end up back where I started. Do you really believe that? No, but the fear is still there. That's normal. Dr. Chen said. Trust takes time. You're relearning how to trust. But Madison, think about this. What if you're not afraid it's too good to be true? What if you're scared you actually deserve to be this happy? That hit me deep. She was right. Part of me still believed I deserved what Derek did. That somehow I earned it. You didn't deserve what happened to you, Dr. Chen said, almost reading my thoughts. And you do deserve happiness. Cameron knows that. Jessica knows that. Everyone in your life knows that. Now you just have to believe it too. I'm working on it. The fight tonight went great. Cameron won by decision. Not his cleanest match, but still a win. Afterward, we grabbed burgers with the team. Next fights after the honeymoon, Cameron said. I'm taking a month off. No training. No fighting. Just me and my wife. My wife. I'm really going to be someone's wife. Cameron's wife. We're honeymooning in Minnesota, and Cameron wants to take me around his hometown, meet his old friends, and visit his dad's grave. It feels meaningful, like closing one chapter and opening another. Tonight, as we lay in bed, Cameron turned to me and said, I want you to know something. No matter what happens later, no matter what battles I win or lose, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. You saved my life just as much as I saved yours. How did I save your life? I asked. He looked down, voice low. I was angry. For years after my dad died, I carried so much rage. Fighting helped, but it never fixed anything. I was just redirecting it. Then I met you. And suddenly, I had something worth fighting for that wasn't anger, it was love. And that changed everything. We fell asleep holding hands. Tomorrow's the rehearsal, then the wedding, then the rest of our lives. I'm not going to say I'm thankful for what Derek did. I won't pretend it made me stronger or taught me anything worthwhile. That's a lie. Abuse doesn't make you stronger, it breaks you. And you have to fight hard to piece yourself back together. What I will say is this. I'm thankful for Cameron, for his strength, his kindness, his calm, for the way he faced my worst nightmare without flinching, for how he chooses me every single day, for how he gave me my life back. And I'm thankful for myself, for not giving up, for not running off to Ohio, for taking that chance at the farmer's market, for choosing to live instead of just survive. Derek isn't part of my story anymore. He's a closed chapter. Done. Over. This is a new story now. And it's a good one. The kind where the woman doesn't need saving but still loves when someone strong stands beside her. The kind where the tough-looking fighter turns out to be the softest soul she's ever known. The kind where love doesn't trap you. It sets you free. The kind where you can smile at a stranger in Target and nothing bad happens. The kind where you win. And I did win. We won. Everyone who survived Derek. Everyone who spoke up. Everyone who refused to stay quiet. The wedding's in 6 days. My dress is ready. Cameron's got a suit. The cake's ordered. The flowers are set. Everything's ready. And for the first time in years, I'm not looking over my shoulder. I'm not waiting for disaster. I'm not bracing for pain. I'm just excited, nervous, happy, and so deeply in love with this life I'm building. With this man who saw me shattered and decided I was worth fighting for. With this future that's finally mine. If there's one thing my story taught me, it's that healing takes time, but it's possible. Real love doesn't trap you or try to control you. It helps you breathe again, see beauty again, and believe that peace isn't just a dream. I learned that surviving isn't the same as living. And sometimes choosing to live means taking a risk, opening your heart, and trusting someone new. I'm grateful for Cameron, for showing me what love without fear feels like. And for myself, for not giving up even when everything hurt. If you were in my place, would you have been brave enough to start over? Would you have trusted love again after everything? I really want to hear your thoughts, your stories, your hearts. God bless you all.